Hello and welcome to TEChBrits, where we will be talking about the return of a old giant.
An old friend.
An old friend.
I'd say it was a friend.
Tom.
Tom
I
was a
think he was
friend.
my only friend on it at the time, to be honest. But we're talking about MySpace. Now, we spoke about this the last couple of weeks, and we've both got our invites to it.
Yes, we've got invites. I got my invite first.
Yes, you did. I was a bit envious. I was like, send me an invite. He was like, I couldn't. I was like, oh, brilliant. So I had to just know that you were playing with this for ages, and I was like, oh, I really want to just see it.
We got it in the end.
I got it.
So what we're going to basically explain is what we think about it. Well, I'm really interested to see what you think about it, because you posted on our Facebook page that you thought it was going to be the death of Facebook. You know, like Facebook is time's up, MySpace is coming back. After playing with it, what do you think that's true?
The thing is that it's a very nice UI. It's a very nice interface. Yes. It takes some while to get used to. It's very, very different from what you're used to across any other social network.
Yeah.
Like sort of Facebook and like Google Plus, like nearly everything's in the same kind of areas.
Yeah.
Whereas MySpace, it really is very metro styly.
Yeah.
Very sort of side scroll, and of course, as MySpace always has been, it's very music focused.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which is almost it almost is a nice mix between sort of what Bebo used to be almost, like, whereas Bebo was just over the top, just all about the customizability and sort of you can have whatever.
Well, that's what MySpace was all about way back when it started. That's why people left MySpace, because it started turning into an absolute cluttered mess.
Yeah, true. But then Facebook is too uncustomizable. There's very little you can do with it other than your cover photo. It is how it is, which some people like, but I think it's looking a bit dated now. Now, the one thing that I do like, now some people find it a bit of a tacky feature, but I like the fact that you can play a song on your profile. I like the fact that you can use MySpace's vast library to put a song that you like that represents you. So when people go on it, they almost instantly know what you're like about the music you listen to.
Yeah, I don't like that. I've never liked autoplay, except on YouTube, because YouTube is when you go into someone's profile, autoplays their latest video, and you kind of go, "This is what this is who I'm watching. You know, this is what it's all about." With music, I want to see you. I don't want to listen to some crappy rap music or some rubbish music that I don't like. The thing about music is, as much as it's tailored to your personality, I don't think it should be sort of forced upon.
I mean, it's not
your
forced,
friends,
because all this does is it comes up in a bar on the bottom.
Yeah.
All music played on MySpace comes up along this little bar. It does mean you can pause it whenever you want, so it's not forced upon you as such. Like, you listen to it when you go onto it, which I think just sort of adds to the getting to know people, like, to their personality.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm impressed is MySpace's music library is massive.
Yes.
There was nothing I couldn't find on there.
Yeah.
So from the popular Foo Fighters to the more obscure Weird Al and Avenue Q, I found literally everything I was listening to at the time. I found it all on there, and you connect with bands as opposed to follow. You connect with them, and what's cool is if they connect to you back, it turns into, like, you basically get like a Venn diagram. So when you connect with them, one of the circles is filled, the other one's empty, and if they connect back, it just turns into one filled circle. I like the little metaphors they've got, but I don't actually think it's going to I don't think it's aiming to rival Facebook.
I don't think it is as much. Because
it is very different.
The thing is, I think it is aiming towards your music lover.
Yeah.
And like you said, sort of being able to discover and sort of follow all your artists. It is like a hub for following mainly musicians, but also your friends as well. But the thing is music is obviously such a widely sort of recognised thing that I think a lot of people will jump on the service and then maybe realise the social features, especially if MySpace then build upon it.
I mean, but Facebook's got Spotify integrations. Facebook's, looking, I reckon, will be getting iTunes integration sometime in the very near future.
But if MySpace can have that all integrated themselves, like you said, MySpace is a massive library of music, from the big artists to all your independent artists as well. I think if that's all built in, then I don't know. I think that's a chance.
We'll see. If you've got a MySpace invitation, you can, of course, add us or connect to us over at new.myspace.com/George Lim.
Or new.myspace.com. You've put me on the spot here. I think it's /gadget_ry, but I'll put that all in the description.
Cool. Next, we want to talk about Skype.
Yeah, so video messaging is something that's not really sort of took off. A lot of people have tried it. I think there was a service that we used for a while called 6free or somewhat along those lines.
Yeah.
Which allowed you to send sort of short kind of video messages, like sort of almost like a video voicemail kind of type thing. Now, again, this hasn't really taken off, and it would have taken a big name to kick it off. And it looks like Skype are now adding it to their application. So,
so you can send the sort of not a video call. That's why I got confused when you sent me this as a note. Not a video call, but literally like almost like a walkie-talkie. You know, only one person talks at a time.
So, well, yeah, they'll just be able to pick it up when they next log on. So if they're offline, you can send a short video message like, "Hi, like happy birthday" or whatever. If it's their birthday, and it'd be weird sending that if it's not. But then, yeah, then they can just log on and see that and video call you back or send a video message back.
Yeah, I think that is something that needs to be pushed. I mean, either Skype or YouTube I see doing that. Like, YouTube is all about sort of sharing video, broadcasting yourself. But maybe if they add sort of a... I mean, we've got VU as well, which is more of a question-answer service at the moment. But I don't know what they've got sort of in the pipeline, but maybe they'll have something video messaging-esque. But no, Skype is definitely someone I see pushing that to sort of the mainstream. Either Skype or Apple. Because Apple seem to just push everything towards the mainstream. Sort of, like the touchscreen phone was very much business, and then Apple went, here's a touchscreen phone.
Yeah, consumers went wild, but yeah, never know.
Cool.
Now, another thing on the rise is, of course, second screen experiences. There was some statistic that I think they were talking about iOS users. I think it's like 70% of iOS users use some form of second screen application whilst they're watching TV or playing a console. Now, these are exactly as they sound. They're second screen experiences, so they're extensions of whatever you're watching or whatever you're playing. So, like, examples would be like Xbox smartglass. So
I was going to say that was...
I've been using that a hell of a lot lately. It's probably the most innovative thing that I've seen this year. It's incredible. Honestly, I didn't realise quite how good it is. Now it's being built into more games and more shows, and I can really see why it's so good.
Yep.
For example, I was playing... sorry, jump in there. I was playing Forza Horizon the other day, and basically I hooked up my iPhone to it, again, it's across platforms, and I could see where I was driving in real time on the map on my phone. It was again when my friend was playing it, then I could see that as well. And then I went into Netflix. I started up a show, started watching The Godfather, and it started telling me all about the characters.
That was when we saw that over at the Nokia event earlier this year. Actually, only a few weeks ago. And when we saw that, I was wowed by that. I just went, I want this.
It's absolutely amazing. And then you can control the whole Xbox just from your fingers. So it's like almost having a Kinect in your hand kind of thing that you can just go along with gestures.
What I want in terms of second screen is I want to be able to watch a show on TV and then basically have that show on the screen in front of me, but to be able to touch the things on the screen. For example, I'll be watching, say, How I Met Your Mother, which I've mentioned on the show previous times. You know, I love that show. But I'll be watching that, and then I'll see, oh, actually, I quite like that guy's jacket. And I'll be able to tap on the jacket, and it'll be like, buy this jacket.
So what Amazon do then with their Kindle Fire HD?
Yeah.
But I know that they only do it with the characters, and you can like touch their faces, and you're talking about touching more of the objects.
Yeah, but like objects in the room, so you can be like, oh, I quite like that lamp in the background. You kind of go lamp, and it'll be like, hey, you can buy this lamp here. Once that's and I don't want it to sort of not just exclusively be on sort of the tablet, but sort of it's the TV. I kind of go, I'm watching this, and it'll kind of go, okay, well you're watching this, so here is what you can see on the screen. Google
would be in a perfect position, I think, to do that, to build that into Android, because of course they're Google goggles. Like they already recognise objects, I know in sort of real life, but then to maybe augment that into viewing experiences like Amazon do. Then
I reckon it'll be interesting. I reckon it'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, but no, it's a good age we live in at the moment.
Yes. It's only going to get better.
Yep, 2013, here we come.
Right, finally, Ryan, you have a brief story to tell me. You sent me a text message earlier, basically sending me the notes of what we're going to be talking about today. Yeah. And you basically put at the end, brief story, which I want to keep quiet until the film.
It's only more because I want to hear your reactions. Always say these little things. How do you feel about seeing the Queen in 3D?
I think that's an interesting idea.
She was snapped earlier this week wearing 3D glasses, and basically, apart from a hilarious image. I'll just wait for you to recover a second. Basically, they've been filming the Queen's speech this year for Christmas in 3D to be broadcast out.
I think that's a really bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tweeted this a few weeks ago. What are your thoughts on 3D in general? The thing with 3D is it started as a gimmick, where you would be watching a cartoon and they'll be like throwing things at the camera, and people were like, "Oh, I don't like gimmicky 3D." And then Avatar came out, and that kind of pushed the boundaries of sort of in depth of field 3D. And now every other film is 3D in the cinema.
Yeah.
The only good 3D film I saw last year was Harold and Kumar's 3D Christmas.
That was amazing. I still want to watch it again.
Like, because the only time 3D, in my opinion, is good is when it's like purposely made for 3D. It's the gimmicky 3D. That's the point. You don't need to be any more immersed into a TV show. You don't need to sort of be in the background, sort of see depth. You see depth in 2D. That's the point of how a camera works.
The thing is, like you said at the moment, it's very gimmicky. It's still in its very early stages. I do think that when it's enhanced further, that of course eventually over the next few years, that is going to be the main thing. But like that's the next enhancement from.
I mean, you were saying glass is free 3D in homes, where I'm kind of like, well, even that I kind of don't really see the point for, unless you're watching a film where they are or a TV show where they are purposely sort of throwing things at you. Right, then I don't see the point in 3D.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, and that's exactly what I mean. I think as soon as glasses-free 3D TVs are sort of the main thing, I think more studios will be recording specifically for 3D experiences, and I think that it will be for the next decade.
Here's one. Holograms. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
It would
like be. He throws the ball and it lands in your living room and just kind of sits there.
Yeah, well, Connect 2, there was some leaked document about them actually projecting it onto the walls. I think we spoke about this before, projecting things into the room. So maybe that's not far off.
Maybe. Anyway,
watch the space. MySpace.
That's the end. Oh, nice. The segment all the way back. That is the end of this lovely edition of TEChBrits. Of course, you can find us at all the normal places: Twitter, Facebook, email.
I like how we've just given up saying this. They're all
in the link in the description below. And of course, please join us next week for our final episode of 2012.
Leave any thoughts in the comments below, and please hit that subscribe button. We shall see you next week, hopefully.
Ciao.